Mhm.
Good stuff.
Sure. Yeah. So, introduction. Pain alleviation addresses the vexing issue of persistent shoulder discomfort and chance healing, expedites recovery with the gentle therapeutic warmth it provides, and expanded battery life, ensures prolonged usage, convenience, uncompromising quality, crafted with meticulous attention to detail for endured performance. So yeah, the product is like probably based on healing your shoulder pain and other joints pain like elbows, knees, and so on. Because now a lot of people who do sports and who are now like senior citizens, they often just got these problems with like complete joints pain. And the main reason the product was created is to probably relieve this pain and make it easier for them to live. And it's a great problem solver. So yeah, let's just move on. And yeah, business model of this product is going to be like strategic drop shipping, owing to exorbitant shipping costs and geopolitical uncertainties in Ukraine. We have adopted a nimble drop shipping model. So yeah, basically we cannot like have probably like 100% surety, yeah, that everything is going to be good with shipping all these products from Ukraine to other countries. So dropshipping is like probably our problem solver, because we're gonna just ship it like directly from supplier to the homes, to the doors of our customers. So yeah, and we don't need like a third party provider for like third party logistics and so on. So yeah. Elevated brand aspirations. Upon successful product validation, our vision includes elevating this enterprise into distinguishing premium brand. So yeah, actually, if product does well, we are going to convert it into a real brand with also branded packaging and so on. So it would actually be like real business, real branding, and so on. Now we are on a testing stage. So yeah. Pricing strategy. Our product costs $37 to manufacture. Free shipping. We extend the courtesy of free shipping to our loyalty customers in the US and in the UK. And final retail price. The ultimate price that our customers pay stands at $69, including free shipping and manufacturing. So yeah, and a profit margin. This approach yields a healthy profit margin of $22 per unit sold. So yeah, if you're actually doing dropshipping strategy businesses, so $22 is like pretty much healthy profit margin, and you won't like get bankrupt with that. So yeah. Target other audience and promotion. This current audience, fitness enthusiasts, the gym community with its proclivity for joint and muscle related issues is our prime target. So yeah, aesthetic aficionation, excuse me. Yeah, aficionates, athletic and sports enthusiasts constitute another lucrative segment, and wellness seekers, senior citizens, while harder to reach, can benefit from our products' soothing effects. So yeah, basically, why fitness enthusiasts? Because most of the community is like people who are aged less than 40 years old, like 30. Between that, they spend a lot of time on the social media platforms, and they are going to be like very easily to advertise this product too. Also the same with aesthetic aficionation, but because now the percentage of people who visit gyms and people who actually like doing professional sports and so on is like differs from into the like fitness enthusiasts. So yeah, probably this the first one is our main auditory. And what about talking about like the wellness seekers, senior citizens, and so on? Old people do not spend as much time on social media as like younger generations. So yeah, probably they are going to be like the probably most difficult auditory to profit from. So yeah, and promotion strategies. Organic Genesis will initially rely on organic traffic to nurture our product until it demonstrates its potential. Strategic paid marketing. Upon proven efficacy, we intend to harness paid marketing channels to maximize reach. So yeah, basically, why organic genesis costs, to test a product, you don't want like to just throw away hundreds of bucks, like thousands of dollars just on paid ads that probably won't show itself. Because if you are new to this business, it's very hard to get in. And yes, that's why organic genesis will like probably save us a lot of money, and it's proved to be like actual real method to get some sales, to get some customers. And if product actually sells and it's actually probably gives us a healthy margin without like spending tons of dollars of thousands on advertising again, we can launch advertising campaign. So yeah, we're gonna like to get more sales, just the way it is. And yeah, organic genesis probably the best organic platforms to advertise is like TikTok and Instagram. But the new organic genesis method just appeared. It's advertising on Snapchat. So yeah, like there are a lot of ways actually how we can promote this product. So yeah. Intelligence, network intelligence, payment provider predicament. Unfortunately, acquisition options like PayPal and Stripe are unavailable in Ukraine, impacting customer trust. Free Condom, alternative payment providers levy exorbitant fees, straining our profitability. Pounds holding dilemma, external solutions like Western Beat, while available, entail prolonged found holding periods. So yeah, actually you are not able to open PayPal business account in Ukraine, and without PayPal business account, you won't like actually be able to accept international payments through other platforms like Shopify, which our store is going to be based on. And yeah, also Stripe isn't like a solution because it just don't exist in Ukraine. So yeah. And if we are talking about other payment providers, their fees are going to be even like 5% and so on, which is actually a real pain for the profit. So yeah. And of course, there are like free services in Ukraine, like Western Beat, which can actually provide you with a PayPal business account based in Europe or in the UK. But it won't like actually benefit us because they hold your money for 3+ weeks, even for months and so on. And future aspirations, future outlook, negotiated supplier agreements. We aim to secure advantageous supplier agreements to streamline costs. Our strategic vision includes transitioning from single product store to a multifactorial retail establishment, venturing into resellables, exploring opportunities to introduce resellable products into our growing portfolio. So yeah, resellable. Yeah, so the product isn't resellable itself, but we actually, again, if the product shows itself, our store is going to be developed, and we're gonna add like some upsales and resellable products, even though PayPal and Stripe again, they are not that friendly with resellable products. But anyway, these are my future plans. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, I'll go first with the critique, and then maybe Gavin and Eula can give their thoughts. First up, Evan, that was excellent, and I'll explain why, because it's on multiple areas. What you started with is a topic that you are interested in, so that always sort of helps with any business. You've identified the income. You've identified a really good product that you think will work. So that's key. But you've also identified the income channels that can make it work. Sports, yes, but you've also looked at the older generation. So you're not just relying on one type of customer, which I like. You've looked carefully at the distribution. You've found a way of doing it, which is the drop shipping, which puts you into the intermediary category. and you with a really healthy profit margin. That 30% profit margin is really good from an intermediary perspective. But the price of the product doesn't seem expensive despite that. So I like all of that. You've identified your marketing channels, also recognizing that the older generation won't necessarily do look at what the younger generation have. So you've seen that you can't just have a one-size-fits-all approach. What I also like is you're kind of doing it step by step. So you recognize we're going to test the market, and then we're going to commit more money once you know what's going to work. So you basically find out what works, and then you double down on it, and that's smart thinking. I also see this being something that you could develop as a side hustle now, if apart from the challenges which I'll come on to in a minute, but also can grow into something which is much larger as you establish your brand and you've taken on board the brand being part of your growth drivers as you build a business. Challenges, yes, that's obviously a big one. And maybe that's something which Gavin, Eula, and I can have a chat about later, because if we can kind of come up with a solution for that based around FITSO as a school, which is UK based, then we can maybe find a way around that, because that problem is going to not just exist for you, but it's going to exist for every other pupil who looks at a side hustle business at this point in time. So there's maybe, and with the Foresight team might be able to help look at solutions for this as well. So we'll come back to that. But as an entrepreneur, you need to understand your challenges, and you've done the homework to find out what that is, which is really good. And what I would also say about this, just finally, is you've looked at this very strategically and from an execution point of view, and that's a big learning, because what you find in the real world is opportunity and ideas are not enough on their own, and it does come down to the strategy and the execution. And that's why we've only got 1 in 5 businesses scaling after they take on investment, because people aren't really getting the strategy and the execution right. So the fact that you're thinking that way now at 16, I think is really, really good. So hats off to you. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Gavin, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, if I go next, I'll start by saying, when can I buy one? Because 2 reasons. For a first pitch, it hit massively with me as a product I need, because I am one of your target audience in terms of I go to the gym all the time. I suffer horrendously with neck and knee pain. But also my wife was in a car accident 20 years ago, and she suffers since that with really bad shoulder. Her shoulder was smashed. The idea of something that could help her shoulder now, 20 years on, is something we've been trying to find a solution for 20 years. We haven't yet found a solution. So the product is really on point for me as someone that would buy it. So I love the product. I love the idea. The costing is absolutely brilliant. I even think that this is the kind of thing that you could look at getting channels for sales through the likes of gyms and establishments, and going direct to gyms and saying, look, sell this to your members in here, and do that kind of thing. I know that the massage gun, Theragun, have done that with a few different gyms, so that seems to be a strategy that could work. And even sending it to like sports teams and saying, okay, when your players come off injured, put this on them, it'll help right away, and that being seen would massively help your marketing. I just think that it's a real strong product. I really liked your presentation and the way you took us through. a little, and this is the teacher thing in me, a little thing, just be aware of your contrast on the background, just so some of your text was quite difficult to read. So make it stand out a bit more when you present into investors in future. But that's a real little niggle. Beyond that, I would say that was a fantastic presentation, really on point, and I would buy it. So please let me know when it's ready to order, because genuinely I need one. So yeah, that was fab. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you.
Yela?
Yeah, I have the whole team of people who will need it here at football and their coaches. So here's your target market already. Yeah, Eugene, it was really nice. I think the presentation. Yeah, I also wanted to comment on the aesthetic of the presentation. It was a bit hard to read, and but there it's very tiny, minor thing, but it makes an impression. Maybe I have space between the bullet points and go for another font. I think the research that you have done and the way how well structured it was is amazing. It was very clear on who you are, what you do, why somebody needs it. And I also left, or at the beginning, you left me with the thought that I would definitely want to explore it more and get one as a consumer, but also as a business, explore it more as a business. So huge, well done. I think it was great. I think Greg and Gavin touched based on everything else. And yeah, well done, honestly. How do you feel? Tell us, share with us your feelings and thoughts. How hard was it? How satisfied are you now?
It wasn't that very much hard. I just needed to research the market, like like couple hours, probably couple days, spending on researching the product and it benefits for the people. Yeah, and just feel like I done it. There is like a whole bunch of mountains to conquer and so on. There is a big amount of work ahead of me. So that's how I feel.
Are you happy with your work? Would you have changed something now?
Yeah, I'm happy that you liked it. That you say it would actually do good on the market. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy with that.
What do you think you learned on the way?
Well, actually, I learned a bunch of things. Craig actually helped me a lot with with market and so on. So yeah, I'm just very thankful for team and for Craig for all the support, for all the knowledge you gave me. So yeah, this is how I feel.
Great. Well, I hope you understand that those skills can be implemented everywhere now. Yeah, you haven't just learned. Obviously, it's not like just the product and the content that you have learned. You've learned the skills that you can use everywhere. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Well done, Evan.
What made you come up with that idea? Because in some ways, it's not the kind of idea I would automatically think of a 16-year-old thinking of in terms of joint pain and everything. You get to my age and you're in your 40s and your knees are aching and you're sore after the gym. You think it's kind of product you'd need. What inspired you to think of it?
Well, actually, it was like probably process of benching 130 kilos after some very great event in my life, and I did some probably technical mistakes, and I got like my rotator cuff ripped, and I couldn't drive a car like for 3 months. Just pain. I still cannot do push-ups. Normally, I do them like probably like a child who can't even like do one push-up. So yeah, it's like my shoulder muscles were cracked at some stage, and that's why I was also looking for solution, and I saw it, and okay, let me explore it. Here we go, boom, market research, product research, so on. It would actually help me. Okay, let's go. There are a bunch of people. Now, when you're watching social media platforms and so on, there are like a bit of not a bit of, there are a lot of people saying, especially from the gym communities, that they have such a problem, and I knew I have such a problem as well. So yeah, let me somehow benefit from it.
I think one of the things and I think Craig probably bear this out, and as something for all of you to reflect on and learn from, is the idea came from a pain point that you were personally experiencing, and something that was, if you like, adversity. And often the best business ideas and the best businesses grow from someone going, there's a better way to do that, or being in adversity and growing from it. And I think that the attribute that I'm most impressed of everything is that ability that you've had to take a negative time in your life and turn it into something that could be a real positive change for good for everyone. And that's a skill that if you take that through life, not only will you be successful, but you'll always have that moral purpose behind what you're doing, and you will take people on that journey with you. So I think that for me is the real strength, that you've taken what could have knocked a lot of people and put a lot of people down, going from where you were at to struggling to do a press up, and you've turned it into something that could help a lot of people. So you've got my complete respect and admiration for that. So well done.
Yeah, you've absolutely nailed it in respect of you've seen a pain point, a need, and you've then sort of seen the opportunity that's with that, and then you've sort of looked at it strategically and how you're going to do it, and then you've put things together and how you'll execute on it, and that's the entrepreneurial wheel. If you can do all those four things and you can do the problem solving in between all those bits, that's what will make you successful. Sometimes you can overcomplicate things, but if we can get the basics right, and you've done that really well, from idea, opportunity, strategy, and execution. It's all there. So good on you. So we move on to the next one. Who's up first of the duo on doing the presentation?
Yeah, I do a presentation, so I will share a screen now. And I do a presentation for my favorite school in the world, Sweetla School. So let me share. Yeah. So
Please don't make me cry. Don't make me cry.
Presentation business analysis. I prepared a presentation to analyze the business project Sweetla School. In it, we will describe in detail what we already have, our key achievements, target audience, our strengths and weaknesses, competitors in the market, as well as what we could improve. Let me talk about this project. Yeah, Nikita, please say.
So before talking about Sweetla School like a business, so we need to understand what is Sweetla School. Sweetla School is a registered education charity in England and Wales, aimed at helping the children of Ukraine and those who have been forced to leave its territory to continue their education and acquire new skills and knowledge. And here are some achievements that we already achieved in these years. So over 2,000 pupils supported from all over Ukraine, up to 12 free lessons a day to.
We don't hear you, Nikita.
Okay, sorry. So over 2,000 pupils supported from all over Ukraine, up to 12 free lessons every day to choose from. More than 300 students at the time, and 2,000 overall since inception. 80 lessons per week, 65 volunteer teachers. More than 20 pupils progressed to British and American online schools on full scholarship. Harrow School Online, Pearson, King's Interhite. There are also established a partnership between British and Ukraine schools for shared lessons and assembles, peer-to-peer teaching, and pen pals. House point system, student council, buddy support, and a sense of community. Our school is supported by Zoom, Wedlake Bell, Walkbats, and others. And supporting Ukrainian refugees in UK, adult English classes and tutoring for GCSA students in British state schools.
So, and then I want to say that we achieve a lot, and let me go on. I will talk about business description of Svetla School. Svetla School offers academic and extracurricular lessons in English for children in Ukraine with a few important purposes. The first one is to give children a sense of stability and show solidarity from across the world. The second one, to improve their English level, of course, to teach interchangeable skills, analytical thinking, and communication skills, to prepare a new generation of Ukrainian leaders for the time when they will have to rebuild Ukraine and make business connections with Europe and the rest of the world. Why people should choose us? There are lots of opportunities for children, career growth, development of communication and leadership abilities, the opportunity to study in free schools, constant updates and courses, and most importantly, development of ourself individuals. This is what sets us apart from other schools. And that shows that we have a special abilities. So let me go on.
So let's start with the market analysis. And I think that the first and the main and the most tough questions that we dealt with is that audience. Like, what is our audience? So target audience abroad. Ukrainian diaspora, the Ukrainian community abroad, including expatriates and refugees, has a strong connection to their homelands and may be interested in supporting education initiatives for Ukrainian children. Also, donors with an interest in Ukraine, individuals, organizers, and philanthropic foundations that have an interest in Ukraine may be willing to contribute to educational program.
And target audience in Ukraine. Ukrainian children is the first one. The primary beneficiaries are children in Ukraine seeking quality education and skills for development. The second one is Ukrainian parents. Parents are concerned about their children's education and are looking for reliable educational support. And the third one is Ukrainian schools. Partnership with Ukrainian schools are essential for reaching a broader audience and collaborating on educational initiatives. And I want to say about SWOT analysis, like about our strengths and weaknesses. Strengths, the first one, like we have strong partnership, a dedicated team of volunteers, a variety of educational programs. And our weaknesses are reliance on donation, potential competition, and the need for sustainable funding. And also I want to say about our opportunities at Fritz. Opportunities are like growing interest in online educational, expanding the reach of programs, forming new partnership, and threats. Economic fluctuations affecting the nations, shifts in educational trends, and potential challenges in reaching the target audience. And so now I want to speak about our competitors. I think that's the most important points for analyzing and researching. We need to know our competitors to know what we can improve in our school. So I looked on the internet for several organizations similar to ours and would like to analyze them. All of these schools are based on teaching English and other lessons to Ukrainian for free or at discount. Engine program, this program and this speaking club have also gathered volunteers who will communicate with students face by face or one-on-one, and thus improve their English level. Engine, this program allows you to study English for free for a year, and the speaking club, this program has a free and tariff plan for learning English. I suggest we do the same so that the school has value. Since everything in our school is free, children soon stop going because they don't see the value. I propose to leave regular lessons for free and make some of them where the teacher will work one-on-one with children paid, but this is an option to be an active student, and then you can open this premium class. And English Dom, this one, offers via development application where Ukrainians can practice English in any free time. We can also move towards creating our own application and then advertising on all social networks. I want to say that this is a very working method, since I personally click on such educational advertisements very often. So yeah. And
So a bit of statistics. So I'm in Seattle school for second year, and Nastya is there from from the beginning. So and we noticed that 70% of the pupils that come are interested, but not fully adapt and may leave because of it. And only the 30% come actively participate, adapt, and continue to develop with the school due to interest.
but in a year and a half what our school is like live on, we have achieved a lot and become more organized. A very good idea, an organization and a friendly team, as well as children themselves who invest a lot and bring a lot of ideas. We also have enough support and collaborations with other schools where they constantly talk about Svetla. We have social networks where we develop our audience. But the problem is that we have not recognizable a bit. Yes, you can find us on social networks, but this is still not enough. The main emphasis is placed in Britain, but in Ukraine, apart from social networks and schools in Ukraine, they like do not advertise anywhere else. And of course, I would like to offer a way out of this situation. Improvement, what we can improve. The first one is certificate of complexion. Many children without adapting quickly leave the school. Because of this, the statistics of children are so small. To fix this, we can make a certificate of complexion. Then the children will see the value. Due to the fact that this is a free organization, it may seem that has no value, and only those who really want to study and learn something new will remain just these 30% that Nikita said. But we want more such good students. Because of this, you can simply give a certificate of complexion, and then the children will be moved to move on, because they have like final steps. They finally can have a certificate of complexion, and it motivates to move on. And the second one is be on all popular platforms. I think that we need to register more on social networking platforms, so that all teenagers can see us, since not everyone is on TikTok and Instagram, and because of half the number of children disappears. Therefore, I think we need to develop in other application also. The first one is educational product sales or brand advertising. We can make our own products for education or give away our products with the school logo. With the school logo is important, so that this is also a kind of marketing and it can work.
So I think before I wanted to say that all these points it's all about to involve more people in Svetla School. So collaborative projects, some of them we have already done, and we are still in collaboration with many schools in UK. So like Pearson or Harrow Interheight or Spark Education, or even Startup for 10. Yeah. So fifth are local food ration initiatives. Like there was an example of it could be charity dinners for the sponsors that can include much more financing of Svetla School, and the training events. I think we need them to achieve more interest, more engaging to our students. Yeah.
Okay, and we will move on. The seventh one is communication directly on the website. I think it can work. So since you can make it possible to communicate directly on the website, create a like a mini email, just like on Facebook or Instagram, where we can write in a personal message. This will make it much easier and easier to switch and start learning, since not everyone can, after finding a site, go to Instagram and take 20 more steps, and it can be hard for some people. And if we give them the opportunity to communicate directly on the website, then it seems to me more people will come to us, because not all people find us in Instagram or in TikTok. Also, a lot of people just Googled it, and they go to our website and they come to ask some questions because of this, and it can work for somebody. The eighth one is barter with bloggers. Barter with bloggers is one of the coolest advertisements on social networks for today, especially if there are bloggers for educational or self-realization. A lot of people can listen to them. Therefore, I suggest finding an educational blogger with whom we can agree on equal terms, so that he can help to us advertise on his page. I'm sure these bloggers have teenagers as their subscribers, which is why this strategy is suitable for us. The ninth one, to do the example teachers council. Like, I think we need to communicate more with teachers and hold some meetings with them, so that this organization is holistic and not only children as students play a role, but also teachers could gather them together and discuss all sorts of ideas on how to improve lessons, or just have a heart-to-heart talk. And also talk about the news, since not all teachers are not notified. And not everyone is comfortable communicating via email. So it would be cool to hold such conferences and do such family organization with all children, partners, teachers, and so on.
So kind of crowdfunding campaigns. It's I think there we should see where are our bigger audience in the social media, and maybe launch advertisement, a popular advertisement in one of the social media. For example, it could be an Instagram ads or Facebook ads. And 11 grants and foundation, like for today, Svetlo School, I think it's a non-profit organization, and the only way to have an economical support grants and foundations.
Yeah, and that's all for our improvements. And finally, I want to say the mission of Svetlo School, that is to educate future political and social leaders of Ukraine. That's the motto and mission of Svetlo School that can work, of course, so for all children for now. And yeah, that's all our analyzing for today. Thank you so much for your attention.
Excellent. Well, do you want to go first? Because
I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I mean, I've been working on on this for 18 years, and all I needed was Nikita and Nastya. No, that was great, guys. Thank you. Yeah, amazing analysis, amazing summary of what we already do. It's great to see your perspective on it as well, in terms of, I think when you're talking about 30% of children, you mean people like you who basically live through Svetlo School day and night. And I think it's a very good percentage, considering, that out of so many children, we have so many. So I think it's safe to say his lives have been changed with the trips to England, with scholarships and all the startups and all the partnerships and stuff. So I'm very pleased that we have achieved that. And in terms of all the points, yeah, absolutely. A lot of it is on our mind already. Gavin is here exactly for that reason, for making more assemblies possible, and I'm working on funding and partnerships, etc. So there's lots of things already in progress, but it was really great to see how you, because we never spoke with you about it, so it's great to see how you identify, the funding and social media and all those things. With social media, I don't know how, maybe I'm missing out, but I don't know how many more platforms there are that we're not on. We're on LinkedIn, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. What else is missing? Maybe Twitter. Twitter, okay. So that's
Which is now
something.
X, Facebook.
X, sorry, yeah, X. And the way you, I think the research you've done is great. Maybe showing a little bit of statistics, which is much deeper. You didn't have to do it for this time, but if I were to do it for, or what we did with the pitch book, it's called like a pitch book for fundraisers with Svitlo. What we did for our actual pitch book is that we showed some statistics and some statistics about education in general, why the school is needed, what impact it makes on actual life, maybe quotes for children, from children, etc. But I think you did amazing research, considering that you have done it completely by yourself. I would suggest that, especially because even like with you, with Yevgen, his project was also personal to him. But for you, Svitlo School, you are the actual product of it, right? You are what represents it even more than the team, I suppose, because it's all done for people like you. So I think maybe a bit more emotions and not reading of the script, but actually, I know it's very hard in second language, and until now I prefer reading than talking. But I think maybe not following. You don't need to follow the script on the slides, right? The people, the audience, they can see the slides, they can read them themselves. So maybe you can just maybe make them even shorter, but speak more, elaborate on them personally in your own words. I think to add a bit more emotion. I think that's all from me. I'm sure Craig and Gavin will have more too. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's hard for me to be unbiased.
It's not easy to sort of when it's your own baby is all.
Yeah, it's like if somebody put my child in front of everyone and said, "Well, tell us how you're going to improve it." I'm like, no, it's perfect.
Gavin, what's your thoughts on the pitch deck?
I really liked it. First of all, can we meet in the next few weeks and just talk through in more detail? Because I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I thought you had some really good ideas. As Yulia said, some we'd thought of, some we hadn't. Some were developments of things that we were thinking, but it was really the depth of consideration you've gone into and the depth of thought was absolutely mind-blowing. Often I have so I've taught for over 20 years, and in 20 years the most common thing that has frustrated me is I've been left after watching a presentation going, there wasn't much detail in that. The detail and thought that you gave was absolutely fantastic, and you really took the time to consider perspectives from different people. The idea of teach counselor I really liked. The structure was fantastic. I really liked the idea of the value add and how we get that value add and what that value add looks like. And it was excuse me, it was an interesting perspective to get, that you feel that there could be a cost service involved to add some value add and everything. I thought that was really interesting to hear coming from yourselves. But these are kind of things that I just really enjoyed. I could sit and watch that again, and it is something definitely to explore in more depth. I wouldn't hesitate to say, you know what, next time we're putting a business case in front of someone, would it make sense to have you do it for us and you present it? Because you, coming from you, I think it has added impact. You are, as Yulia said, you're the product of Svitlo School. So when you're then saying where Svitlo School's at and what it means and everything, it has an added impact to anyone watching. And I just thought you did a really, really, really good job. I do have some questions that I want to explore, like what would that mean? What would the value add be? How would we do that? I think certification is something we're already discussing, and we're looking at, and everything. But I'll be honest, I'd never thought of a cost model and putting a cost on, and I'm what would that look like? How would that work? And those kind of things, you have looked at things in ways different to what we were thinking, which is really good, and credit to you. And yeah, I was really impressed. Well done, genuinely well done, and so thoughtful and detailed. I love the SWOT analysis. I'm a big one. I love SWOT analysis. I think they give a real good idea, and I think too often I've seen people get the balance of a SWOT analysis wrong. What I thought you did really well is it was very clear that you had your head round the strengths and weaknesses were personal to the charity and the opportunity and threats were external. And too often I've seen that balance be the wrong way round, and people thinking that the strengths and weaknesses were external, and it's not. You really clearly have learned a lot, taken a lot, and yeah, impressive. Well done, genuinely well done.
Well done, guys. So my thoughts, what that demonstrates is how entrepreneurial thinking doesn't just relate to your own business. And you've come up with some things which Gavin and you'll have said, I hadn't thought about that. And that entrepreneurial creativity is relevant whether you're running your own business or whether you're working for somebody else. And you just demonstrated that in spades. So it's a mindset, but it's a life skill that you can use it in lots of different ways, and you've done that. On the pitch deck itself, it's a tricky one, because what you're doing is you're making a business case, but also the educational case, and sometimes that's a tricky thing to do at the same time. So what I would probably do is separate the two out, sort of in respect of when you're looking at the business side of things, be very focused on that, because people can get a wee bit confused by it when the two things interlink. And when you're going after business talk, you're bringing in the educational benefits and needs as part of it. But in respect of a funding pitch or going for money or developing your business idea, sometimes you kind of interacted the two, and I got a wee bit lost once or twice on that. But that's a small point. What I really thought worked well on the business side of things, that tutor income channel that you've thought of, that's brilliant. I mean, we've been talking about income channels for Sfitzel, and Gavin, Eula, and I've been discussing a few things that we can do to help. But you've just come up with another one, which that is real entrepreneurial thinking. The English tutor, the fact that Sfitzel could almost become a sort of almost a second language tutorial business, is another income channel. So that's two income channels that you guys have identified. The crowdfunding, but also the need to engage the wider Ukraine expat community, who are not directly affected by the war, but they could potentially be your big cash cow, where their help is supporting something like Sfitzel, and using the social media to engage that audience, to bring them in as supporters, could be very powerful if we can get it to make it work. So some real entrepreneurial business clever thinking in that, as well as obviously the education stuff, which I'm not really that qualified to comment on, and you've had Gavin and Eula's input on that. But No, as you were given the brief, and you've really got to town on it. So well done to you both, and also the fact that you'll have learned from working with each other, and sort of one of you will have had a thought, and that you will have expressed that, and one of you might have challenged it. So that whole process, also stimulates the business thinking, because it's not one person that's responsible for coming up with the ideas and executing on it. To do something significant needs a team, and that the way you guys have worked together to put that together shows that you've been doing that, and that's another big tick in my box. So well done to you both.
Yeah, absolutely agree with everything, and just wanted to also kind of add, I guess, is with profit from English as additional language. Obviously, we have to be careful. Gavin, that's something that we can discuss with children and with you later on, that if we explore that idea, there should be still opportunities for everybody to make the most of Svitlo without having to pay. The tuition could be as an extra to help us support students who cannot pay as such. And then at 11, we're meeting Gavin with the student council, right? He's new to our team. And I'm so happy that this presentation was so well timed, because I think Gavin will be thinking about it all weekend now, and yeah, come up with lots and lots of great things to explore between all of us with Svitlo team. And then meeting Daria tomorrow and Sasha as well. So actually, everything is very, very well timed.
And I would love both presentations to be emailed to us, please. Just to look over. I think they're absolutely fantastic, and I just want to take a moment to say huge well done to all of you. I think I will be completely honest, I didn't want to sit here and be too supportive right away, because I think you needed us to be able to be critical friends and be able to criticize, and I'm rooting for you right away. So I tried to turn that off and go, right, can I pick anything to pick up on? And I couldn't. You were absolutely really good and really on it. And I think that you kind of made it so all I could do was sit back, relax and enjoy, and it was superb. You did a really, really good job. You've obviously taken a lot out of it. You've obviously learned a lot. And I think coming back to Craig's earlier point for yourselves, Nikita and Natasha, is that there are businesses that will pay you to do this analysis for them, where they maybe aren't as confident with the analysis. So as Craig was saying, you don't always have to do this for your own business and your own enterprise. There is the ability to make a strong living going in and analysing businesses and giving this kind of feedback to them. And I certainly would feel like I'd got value out of what you've given us and what you've come back to for Svitlo. So you've definitely provided a value add there. Yevhen, your idea and picking a pain point and the value you've added to something that is I could relate to right away. It was lovely because both presentations I could relate to, and I just think you were great. And yeah, I'm going to be thinking about both all weekend. I'm going to be watching out for your product, Yevhen, so I'll come buy it. So please let me know when it's ready for me to purchase. And I will certainly be buying. And for yourselves, Natasha and Nikita, I would love a follow-up meeting in a couple of weeks just to pick your brains in more depth on some of your ideas and where things could go, because I thought they were both fantastic. So well done, all of you, and thank you very, very much for your time and making my start to a Saturday morning absolutely fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. Nastya, Yevhen, and Nikita, is it okay to save the recordings on our YouTube channel for it to be? Yeah? Okay, perfect. It will be easy to share the recordings. I'll break them into two. And I think it would be very nice to share it with Foresight and other people to see what amazing job you've done.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll put it out in my network as well, so people can see what you've done. But it's, yeah, that's jobs well done, guys. Very impressed with you all. It's been first class.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for showing up on Saturday morning. See you in a couple of hours.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Craig.
Cheers.
I'll
You're
see you
welcome.
next week.
Cheers for now.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.